Okay, this is echinacea root, okay, but I've had it growing for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years before it got big enough I can even use it. This is a little bit left of what's left of the top. I took the leaves off, but I want the root because echinacea root is really good for spider bites, snake bites, along with plantain and marshmallow leaf, stuff like that. So this is what echinacea root looks like. Yeah. Okay, so I separated it from this top part. You want to cut and work with roots. I've mentioned this in my other videos dealing with different various roots. You want to cut them while they're still soft and tender. You have to, if you're going to pull them up, make sure you got time to clean and chop them up how you want them, because once they dry, roots are really hard to chop up and stuff. But yeah, I will chop these up, let them dry, and put them in a jar somewhere so that if one of my dogs get bit by a snake or a spider or me or someone, I can add it with plantain and some other stuff. I may go ahead and just make a whole formula and put it together and have it all ready to go, because you don't have time to do all that in an emergency. So I think that's what I will do. I will try to videotape that part later. Maybe if I can remember not to delete this video, this part of the video, I'll add it on to this video. Okay, this is the first time doing my own echinacea root. I've been using the flowers, but I knew if I do it right away, it would be a lot softer. And these are really easy to cut up. So as you can see, I'm cutting the little roots in little pieces, and then I will let them dry. But it's not hard to cut at all. This is much easier, I think, than my marshmallow root was. But anyway, yeah. You know, I am just overwhelmed and amazed at how God has provided for us. Like this echinacea, it's one of many herbs that just do, many of the herbs can do amazing things. And then if you combine them, they synergistically work together, some of them. And it's just amazing. And then the good foods that the Lord gives us, those help too. I mean, God has provided it all. It's just we forgot how, because we've all been so brainwashed to just run off to the doctor every time we have an ailment. Now we may not be able to do that so much. We better start thinking about what God provided for us and learning about it and how to take care of ourselves. This one right here is a valerian, one of my other very favorites. It's really good for pain. Not so much for sleep as a lot of people think. As a matter of fact, it just hypes me up more where I can't sleep. But it is good with some of my other herbs. I use it in a tincture for sleep. And I don't know. I really need the valerian roots too. This one might be big enough. I might can dig this one up. I'm trying to grow some more from seed. I plant so many things and then I'd lose the markers or whatever. I think this is valerian too, but it looks a little bit different. Nope, that's valerian in there among my celery. So I might end up, I probably should dig it up now. Yeah, I need to dig up these roots and harvest them. It should have enough roots before all of the goodness starts going up into the leaves. Well, there's still a lot of it in the roots. I need to get that dug up. But yeah, it's another wonderful herb that God has provided for us. And I'll talk maybe more about it in another video. I just wanted to say I am so thankful to the Heavenly Father for providing for us. And one of the reasons I do this channel is to help people get their minds we've all been brainwashed somewhat from the media and stuff and the push through the years. But I want to help. There's certain things I could say, and I'm trying to bite my tongue so they don't, we just don't have the freedom to talk about what we want anymore. But I still want to get information out to you. So, yeah. See there? That's why I gave up. They were even getting in my little hoop house I built. Oh well. I think I do have some holy basil planted in there, but I don't have a whole lot. I got all that wood underneath like a hugelkultur, but oh, let's go back to the echinacea. Okay, I dug out those roots from here. This one, they were all around this one. This one didn't come out, and I just didn't have the heart to pull that one because, look, it's making a flower. But I got some roots, so that's good enough for now. I may do this root next year. This one is a younger one. The root wouldn't be big enough. Here's another young one I planted last year. You don't want to use the first year, maybe not even the second. You want your root to get big enough, because this is actually working on the second year, I believe, starting the second year. This one, of course, they're just coming up right now, but the roots are just not big enough. Okay, this is the leaves that I cut the roots from. Right? There's actually quite a few. I don't want to just throw them away. There's still benefits in this, although the leaves look a little holy. I got these little black bugs about the size of a pea. They killed my artichoke plant. They're all over my hollyhock this year. Last year they just totally drained the artichokes and killed the plants totally dead. But there's still some that's really good here, and I don't know if that's what's getting these, but they sure do have some holy leaves. So, there's still some really good leaves in here, and these are beneficial too. The flowers, the leaves, and the roots. Flowers and leaves are used a little bit differently than the roots, and we can talk about that in another video. I think I will just make this an echinacea video, since actually there's quite a bit about echinacea. Maybe I should talk and add a little bit more about echinacea to that, and that way you don't have too many things in one video to so your mind, it seems to, if you concentrate on one particular thing, you can keep that in your memory better than if you have several things at once. Sometimes you might forget more. And if you're wanting to learn, study one herb for a while, get it down pretty good, and then you can move on to the next. So I don't want to overwhelm you with too much info. But yeah, the leaves are beneficial too. Okay, this is my Materia Medica journal that I put together, and I have not been working in it. There's so many more plants I need to add to this, and I didn't even put a whole lot on the echinacea. But anyway, yeah, okay, so it's in the Asteraceae family, like the asters. It says parts used is the flowers, but you can also use the root. Okay, so your aerial parts of this, the flowers, the leaves, those are not as strong as your roots. Your real medicine is in the roots, but I still use them. There's still a little bit of medicine in them. I use them for teas, and I have made the tinctures, but I didn't have any root yet. So I went ahead and double tinctured it to try to get a little more power in it. But what I'm going to do is, and I had made a video of this, part of this, my little sections disappeared. I don't know. This phone's getting old. But anyway, let me get the bottle again for you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end this. This is my echinacea bottle. I don't know if I can find that other segment that I lost, video segment. But I did make it with the leaves and flowers, but I am going to use the roots, and then I'm going to mix it with some other herbs for my snake and spider bite remedy. But anyway, I hope y'all got something out of this, gave you some ideas. Ask that you'd give me a thumbs up if you would. Any comments or questions, feel free to put below, and we will catch you all next time. Bye now. Okay, now I am experimenting a bit with this. I know that these combinations are supposed to work. I just don't know how much of each combination. And as time goes, and I'm doing a little more research, I may find some other things that I want to add to this. So, but what I would do with this at this point is, if like I get a spider bite or something, I will probably put this on it. I'll make a poultice and poultice the spider bite with this. And then there is also some essential oils that help with that too. So I may do both at this point, depending how quickly it works. Now, if it's a snake bite, I might can use this at the beginning, but probably would have to, if it's one of my critters, have to take them to the vet just to be sure, just depending how they're doing. We had a rabbit one time when the kids were growing up, and she got bit by a rattler. The rattler was trying to catch the babies, but he bit through her ear, and there was venom on the outside of her, and I washed her and put her in her cage beside the water bottle, and she got paralyzed, but she could still drink. And she was leaned against the wire by the water, and she would just drink and drink. It was right in front of her mouth, so she would just drink and drink and drink and drink and drink the water. She eventually came out of it and was fine. But then I don't think she got, unless he bit her somewhere else that I didn't know, I don't think she got a whole lot of venom, but enough that it paralyzed her. She couldn't hop around or anything, but she could drink, and boy, did she ever. So, you just never know what's going to happen on a homestead, farm, country. Even if you don't live in the country, you take your dog out in the country for a run by a creek or something, and they get bit or whatever. So, you just don't know what the situation is going to be. Just remember that the echinacea root is the most powerful part of the plant, and echinacea is the main thing to help against the venom in the body. And the others work with it. Those other herbs that I showed on that label work with it too, though, that help. And there is other things too, like the essential oils. So it's a beginning for you to start thinking, and if an emergency happens, you can start working and learning from this point on. I need you, if you're interested in this, you really need to keep this information in the back of your mind for an emergency. If you have, just echinacea, then give them that internally and externally, until you can get to a vet or doctor or whatever. But just depending on the circumstance, we just don't know what that might be. You have to have some common sense, know what you can do without making it to the doctor, or if you have to go or whatever. Like I said, the situation can involve so many different things. So I am going to go ahead and close this out. This is just some background information to give you, to get you to thinking about, being aware of, because we don't know what kind of situations we might be facing. People never thought they would be facing situations that they have been facing the last 2 years, and it's continually escalating. We need to start thinking how to go back to depending on God and ourselves, and not others, except as others as friends and relatives to work with in trying to survive. But I'm trying to talk in a way that I don't get my channel in trouble, so I'm hoping that you're following me in what I'm saying. But anyway, I will close with this, and Lord bless. We'll catch you next time.